What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So it's that time of the week. It's rotation time. And in this video, a lot more blues. It wasn't intentional. It just kind of worked out that way. There's a few darker fragrances here. Spent a little time with some stuff I haven't reached for in a while. That goes for his freshies and some of the heavier stuff. So there's kind of two sides to this equation. There's some fresh blue stuff, and there's some denser, spicier stuff. Kind of the overall consensus of the four darker fragrances. So we're going to dive on into this one, but for the most part, these all aim to please. These all smell phenomenal. It's week number 173. Stay tuned. Starting on Sunday was an Azzaro Chrome type of day. Starting with, during the day, I went with Azzaro Chrome Extreme, my favorite in the line. Big fan of this one. And for those of you that saw my Joma Shop shopping video, I have two new flankers coming. Well, the package came in today and Chrome EDP was in there, but Chrome Intense, I guess Joma Shop decided I didn't need that part of my order, so I had to email them. I ordered four fragrances, they sent me 3, so the fun of purchasing things online. But for those of you that haven't tried this one, it's basically, as the name would indicate, it's an extreme take on Chrome. It smells like Chrome mixed with Aqua di Gio Profondo, basically. I don't think it's a weird coincidence that the bottle color scheme is pretty much identical for the most part to Profondo. There's the same kind of translucent blue, but it smells phenomenal. It's a beast of a performer. It's just such a delight to wear. It's still my favorite version of Chrome until further notice. If you haven't gotten your nose on this one yet, it's one of the better blue fragrances out there, especially as far as aquatics with power. It's an aquatic with power. So during the day, it was all Chrome Extreme. And since I said it was a Chrome type of day, went from extreme aquatic to relaxing, creamy tea type of fragrance with Chrome United. One that does not get talked about. I do wear this one on occasion. Not something I reach for all the time, but this is a super underrated flanker in the line. It doesn't get any love. Incredible atomizer and incredible scent profile. Like I said, it's a little fresh, citrusy, soapy, herbal, very creamy, very soothing. Very soothing fragrance. This is beautiful stuff. When you need that type of therapeutic treatment from an aroma, some aromatherapy, if you will, would be the appropriate way to say it. Something that'll just kind of soothe you and calm you down, relax you. This is one of those fragrances that does it for me. It's a great choice in the evening. I pretty much exclusively wear it for those situations in the evening, out the shower. Azzaro Chrome United. Moving into Monday was a couple of back-to-back blues. Two I haven't reached for in a while. Well, the daytime wear. It's been a little bit, but I've worn it in the last few months. We're talking about Samy Andraus Blue Sapphire. This is Samy's take on Elysium. It's missing the herbaceous components. It's all about the citruses and the leather, basically, with a little bit of wood. It's beautiful. I mean, you see the dent in that bottle. I do have multiples, so when I run through this one, I'll just throw the atomizer on another one. I have 2 more. This is good stuff. Immensely powerful, extremely metallic and fruity. This is a very dense take. Even more so than Elysium Parfum. This is much more rich, thick, and dense. It's not a one-to-one copy. Like I said, the herbaceous components are missing from this. But it's pretty damn close. It's my favorite clone or inspired by version of Elysium. I like it over Zion and so on and so forth. You name them. I like Blue Sapphire better. It's the one I reach for. I actually reach for this one more than even Elysium because I just love the way it smells. For lack of a better term, that's just what it is, cut and dry. It smells incredible. It's a great performer, and my wife's a huge fan. Again, that's Samy Andraus Blue Sapphire. And we got the shower. You want to talk about something I haven't worn in a long time. The color scheme's fitting. It's a very blue fragrance. Amber, ambroxan. It's warm. It's shower gel. It's got a little bit of a citrus feel at the top. It is Nautica Midnight Voyage. One I have not reached for in quite some time. This is a nice little underrated gem too. Does not get talked about. Decent performer too, like a 5-6 hour fragrance on my skin. These Voyage atomizers are terrible. I mean, it gets the job done. It's all over my hand now, but doesn't do that great of a job of atomizing the fragrance. It doesn't make quite the fine mist, but it smells incredible. It's a simplistic fragrance, Kind of like a little bit of Voyage meets Sauvage in many ways. A little bit more warm and ambery overall, but it'll remind you of kind of that combination. Beautiful flanker. Does not get any love. Great daytime wear. You can find this one Walmart, places like that. Just random department stores that sell Nautica fragrances. Typically they'll have this one, and I forgot exactly how much it costs. But it does come exclusively in 50 ml like this, but very underrated from the house. One of the better Nautica fragrances to ever come out, in my opinion. Out the shower. Nautica. Midnight Voyage. Moving into Tuesday, we have extremely powerful oud. Dark, smoky, a little spicy. Then we have something immensely fresh and back to light blue right after. But this is from Paris Corner in their Emir range. This is L'Eau d'Espoir Ambre. Louis Vuitton Ambre Nomade Cologne. Just did a full review on this one. This is gorgeous. So powerful. Funky oud raspberry smoke. It's basically what it smells like. This raspberry fruity tone. It doesn't distinctively smell like raspberry, but there's a fruity sweetness to this. But it's overrun by this very funky, slightly sweet, immensely smoky oud smell, because there is incense and birch in the note breakdown here. This is a banger and then some. God, calling it a banger is kind of an understatement. They did such a good job. The quality here, for being Paris Corner, they exceeded any and all expectations. The story that they tell on their on the website write-ups is that they did use high-level raw materials, and it smells that way. It performs that way. It's an accurate depiction of Ambre Nomade, whichever. It's just great. It's currently out of stock from Aroma Concepts. I'll have the link below. They'll have it in stock within the next 30 days, from what I understand. I did talk to the gentleman that runs Aroma Concepts, and we'll see what happens. But if you can get your nose on this one, and you want Ambre Nomade on a budget, that's pretty much what it is. And you don't sacrifice much quality. You don't really sacrifice any performance, and the scent profile's pretty much spot on. You want to check this one out. During the day, it was a joy to wear L'Eau d'Espoir Ambre from Paris Corner. And like I said, when I got out the shower, I went super fresh light blue. Mercedes-Benz Cologne. Always have been a huge fan of this one. I just get in the mood for it. Sometimes I wear it out the shower. Sometimes in the warmer weather, I wear it during the day. There's never a bad situation or time to smell like this fragrance. Lemon, grapefruit, orange, mandarin orange. There's a few different citruses at the top. It's very bright, zesty, watery, invigorating, clean, and musky. Decent performer, not a beast at all, obviously, for as fresh as this is. It actually performs decent for as fresh as it is. It's like a 6-hour fragrance on my skin. Some people get worse. Some people get better. To each their own. Not easy to find these days. I believe it's discontinued. I'm not certain of that. I have this 4-ounce bottle as well as a backup 75 ml tester. So I'm good. As warmer weather rolls around every year, I get in the mood to spray this one. It's not a massive dent, but for 120 ml, that's actually a decent dent, especially with the size collection I have. I love this fragrance. I do go back to it every single year. This ends up in the rotation at some point, and I was in the mood for it. Out the shower. One of the best citrus fragrances ever created, in my opinion. It's Mercedes-Benz Cologne. Moving into Wednesday, we have something a little bit more unique, niche, and a little heavier. It was pretty cold, the 2-day stretch that I wore these heavier fragrances during the day. We actually had some snow, and then the rest of the week, it warmed up. But I haven't wore this one in several weeks. It was time to throw it back in rotation. Evening Mystique, my newest creation with Zaharoff. Anybody that hasn't tried this yet, you can get samples from Zaharoff's website. $5 will get you a 2 ml sample. I love it so much. Herbaceous, aromatic and spicy at the top, creamy powdery iris, bunch of resins and incense make for a beautiful smoky tone, some woodsy vetiver, a nice creamy patchouli in the dry down, and then this nice musky ambery combo. It's just a beautiful fragrance. It's not too powdery. It's not dominated by the iris this time around like Business Over Pleasure was, its predecessor. The successor is all about the resins, the incense, and a little bit of spice. I really, really love this fragrance, obviously. It's exactly what I wanted it to be, and then some. 25% Parfum. It'll last a very long time. It's not a room filler, but it will captivate. This has the type of sillage that will linger since it's a higher oil concentration. I mean, look at the color that Beautiful dark ambery juice. Just gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. Like I said, get a sample. Link down below. During the day, TLTG Reviews X Zaharoff. Evening Mystique. Now I got the shower. I was digging for something in the area this was. I forgot which fragrance I was looking for. And came across it and said, you know, I haven't wore that in a long time, so I pulled out Ellis Aqua as my out the shower scent. Not as aquatic as the name and color scheme would indicate, but it's very fresh. It's a little watery, but it's very fresh. I mean, super fresh and a little creamy and woody. Nothing special here, but not a bad smell at all. Good stuff. I wouldn't call it great stuff, but it's definitely good stuff. I got it for like 12 bucks. One of my trips to Louisiana for this 50 ml. And I would do it again. There was a stretch when I, put this dent in the bottle. Not a huge dent, but again, I have so many damn fragrances, it's hard to really drop juice levels. But it's a solid fragrance. I've heard the Extreme is much, much better. Maybe one day I'll get my nose on that one and just grab it because I know it's cheap. But when it comes to Ellis fragrances, kind of a dumb reach, great out the shower. And that's what I wore it for. Ellis Aqua. Moving into Thursday, it started to warm up this particular day. The temperature was in the 50s, so it wasn't really cold, but it wasn't really warm either. The snow was starting to melt, but it was still cool enough to enjoy this one. Spicebomb Extreme from Viktor and Rolf. I haven't wore this one in quite a while. I was in the mood for it. I gave myself 5 sprays. This is so good. This is so good. Wife was digging it. She loved that I wore this. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Fiery hot, earthy tobacco, sweet creamy vanilla. It does get overrun by vanilla as it dries down. The spice will calm down greatly. That earthy tone becomes more creamy from the tobacco, but just a beautiful, warm and cuddly type of fragrance for cooler weather, cold weather especially. Starting to get more and more into the weather where this one's got to go back on the shelf. So I'm running out of time to really be weather situationally appropriate for this fragrance. So felt like it was a good time to wear it. I just recently talked about it in some content. And yeah, not a bad Spicebomb flanker that exists in my opinion. And this one's still all that in a bag of chips during the day. Viktor and Rolf, Spicebomb Extreme. Then I got the shower. We went back to fresh. This basically smells like the original Invictus, but a little bit more soapy. CR7 Play It Cool from Cristiano Ronaldo. I dig this one. I like wearing this one to the gym. I like wearing this one out the shower. And it's actually a decent performer, 4 or 5 hour fragrance on my skin. Nothing special, but decent. I just enjoy the way this one smells. Like I said, it's a more soapy take on the original Invictus. It still has that sweet aquatic smell with a very soapy lavender shower gel type of smell. Sometimes I just get in the mood for these simplistic, cheap shower gel scents, and some of them are better than others. This is better than a lot of them, to be honest with you. You're going to spend around 25, 30 bucks for a 50 ml like this. It's a little bit more pricey than some of the other fragrances I would put in this particular price bracket. Shower gel basic blue. This one's just a little bit better. I think this one does warrant a few more dollars than the other ones because it performs a little better than most of them and smells a little bit better than most of them. If you haven't tried this one yet, you probably should. It makes me want to dive into Cristiano Ronaldo's fragrances a little more because I do enjoy this one. Out the shower, CR7, Play It Cool. Moving into Friday, this was way heavier and spicier than I needed for the day. It was in the low 60s. Again, not hot, so it was fine to get away with it, but it was like a crisp, cool spring day type of weather. We had a little breeze. I just talked about this one in some content as well, and I wanted to wear this one. God, it smells good. My wife said it was lingering everywhere. She could smell me everywhere I went, even long after I would leave rooms with Parfums de Layton. I had 4 sprays on my neck, and it was all I needed. This stuff is powerful on my skin. It's so good. Wife's a fan. I'm a fan. This Vicks Vapor Rub menthol vibe at the top is what the geranium gives me. Yes, now that I said Vicks Vapor Rub, you'll never not smell that again when you smell this fragrance. Sorry, it was done to me. I have to do it to you too. But it's still one of the greats. I'm sorry, I'll argue with anybody because we like what we like, right? You may like it, you may not like it. I thoroughly enjoy this one. Big fan. Great fragrance. Staple in any man's collection, in my opinion. One of the better beginner niche fragrances, I guess you could say. This is good stuff. fruity apple, very spicy cardamom, creamy vanilla, a lot of spice here. Warm and spicy with some sweetness. Like I said, this mentholic type of vapor rub, geranium smell, if you will. A little bit of woods in the backdrop. This is so good. Super strong on my skin. Big compliment getter in my experience. It's just great. It's worth trying, and I would suggest trying the original before you start diving into clones, because there's a little bit of magic in here that the original can create that you might not necessarily get from some of the clones. So heed my warning. Try the original first. Get a sample. If you want to go the route of clones, I said this in the video I featured it. If you want to go the route of clones after, because there's countless clones of this fragrance, if you want to go that route after, that's up to you, but experience the original first. Always try the originals first, because that's where it all started, right? It's the originals. During the day, Parfums de Marley Layton. Again, big fan of this one. Then we got the shower. We stuck with spicy, but we went much, much fresher. I would consider this a blue fragrance in many ways, like a spicy blue. It is Jaguar Pace Accelerate. Big fan of this one. Another unsung hero when it comes to cheap fragrance gems. A lot of peppery spice. It's watery and peppery at the top. A little bit of earthy vetiver. The citrus doesn't overtake it, but there is kind of this juicy bergamot type of smell. That peppery tone's almost a little smoked pepper type of smell. This is good stuff, and it doesn't smell super cheap. You can get this 100 ml for like right around 20-25 bucks. Sub $30. I did a full review on this when I smell it floating in the air. This is so good. This is so good. I love wearing this one to the gym. I love wearing it casually, out the shower. Daytime wear. This can be a signature scent if you don't want to spend much on a fragrance. People will compare it to Encre Noir Sport. Similar, not exactly the same though. Similar, but not exactly the same. This is much more peppery spiced. Much, much, much spicier. That's more earthy. This is way more spicy. So underappreciated. Not that many people even know about this fragrance. It is damn good. It does not smell as cheap as a lot of those I guess like Jaguar Classic and the green bottle, the blue bottle, those fragrances, yeah, those smell like $12, $15 fragrances. This smells a bit better than that. It's a few dollars more, but I'm telling you, you see the excitement the way I'm talking about this one. I really love this fragrance. This is good stuff. Try this one if you haven't yet. Super, super, super underrated. Jaguar Pace Accelerate. Finally on Saturday, so for those of you that did not see it live, make sure to check out the replay. Myself, Justin Copeland, and George Zaharoff did a live stream featuring this fragrance. This is Justin's second creation with Zaharoff in the same project as my Evening Mystique fragrance. This is Second Soul. So in that live stream, I had them explain the creative process behind the idea, the quadruple entendre for the Second Soul story with the packaging, with the mirrored effect. I'm currently wearing it. I have 6 sprays on skin, 1 on the top of each forearm, 4 around the neck. I can just do that and smell it. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Aromatic, boozy, and a little spicy at the top. Dries down into a light floral, somewhat earthy tone because of the tobacco here, but it's not a hefty tobacco dose, with a lot of this fuzzy, musky suede smell as it dries. That's the main thing I get a dominance of as it dries. I love this stuff. Very fougere-ish, almost barbershop feel, but not completely. I would say Brass and Soul, the predecessor, was more of a barbershop fragrance, whereas this is a much deeper, more complex scent profile overall. Love this stuff. It wasn't originally composed as a daytime, everyday wear, but that's what I like to wear it for. I don't just wear it in the evenings. It's a great everyday scent for somebody that wants something a little bit different that's also not a challenge. Different, but not a challenge. That's a good way to sum up Second Soul. So definitely check out that live stream if you want to hear some more of the story and the inspirations behind why Justin and George came up with the packaging the way they did. Justin talking about the scent. He even played the original composition that's on the box to close it out on his trumpet. So definitely check that out. And if you want to get a sample, like I said before, same link for Evening Mystique will bring you to where you can get a sample or bottle of one of these while supplies last, because due to of the Immortals and the Zed Creators packaging getting the nomination with the Fragrance Foundation for Packaging of the Year, we did fill more bottles and extend the supply, so there is more supply available now. So if you were worried we were getting short on stock, we were getting pretty close to short on stock. We have now filled more bottles, so there's more available, hence the reason we have samples available now. So during the day, Second Soul from Stay Fresh Productions and Zaharoff. And because I got so excited talking about this one a minute ago, I haven't taken my shower yet. It is Saturday afternoon at the recording of this. I am going to go with Jaguar Pace Accelerate again out the shower because why the hell not? I just got super excited talking about how underrated this is, and I'm down for this peppery, spiced, earthy vetiver, fresh, watery smell. I'm down for it again out the shower tonight. So, 2 nights in a row, I'll be going with Jaguar Pace Accelerate. Well, that was this week's rotation, and until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. What'd you guys wear this week? Definitely sound off in the comments below. I'm very curious on what you guys were wearing. Did we match at any point? It doesn't have to be the same day, but like, who wore Evening Mystique this week? Who wore Layton or Chrome Extreme or something? Definitely sound off in the chat. I love reading you guys' comments with these weekly rotations. It's my favorite format. And until next time, I will say if you get your hands on any of the stuff I wore this past week and you give it a spray now, pretty confident you'll thank me later. Have a good one, guys.